Was kann man lieben Freunde und herzlich willkommen zum fünften der Haus und Fata Morgana Let's Play. Ja, meine lieben Freunde, heute sind wir da und letztes Mal hatte The White-Haired Girl gesagt, sie muss irgendwas machen, Alter, und ist halt weggekattet, auch ehrenlos, vielleicht sehen wir das jetzt bitte. Aber bisher trollt das Game ehrlich gesagt nur. So, wir erfahren ihren Namen nicht, so Ende mit ELL. Dann, als Nelly so nach ihrer Frage, woher sie kommt, wird sie zweimal, wird sie einmal abgelenkt, dann unterbrochen, er ist ein Troll, ganz ehrlich. Und jetzt will sie irgendwas machen, wir sehen das auch wieder nicht, also ganz ehrlich, was soll die Scheiße?
Ja, das ist safe so mit Aufbauen. Der Payoff kommt dann, weißt du?
Ja, der Troll. Der Gintama. Ah.
Aber genau, sie hat nicht nur gesagt, du musst das machen, die White-Haired Girl, sondern it's time to make my move. Und dann so the Master.
Ja, genau, Alter. Macht die Dragon?
Eben nicht, weil Dragon hat nicht einmal gesagt, it's time to make my move. Okay.
Okay, Freunde, also ja, wir gehen direkt rein, Freunde. Und schreibt mal in die Kommentare, wie es euch bisher gefällt. Ich find's pretty nice. Die Musik ist geil, Mel ist interesting und.
Also, ich finde, am meisten will ich wissen über das White-Haired Girl.
Ja, und über die Maid. Die lebt irgendwie 50.000 Jahre oder so. Ja. Let's go.
Despite his near devastation by Nelly's new smell, flaxen eyes continue to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. Das ist öfter so, das Lachen ist einfach
Ja.
By now, it should be quite obvious to you that what Mel was feeling. But the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, his heart would leap, his whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. He had never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep these strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw an opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl und fragt, wenn das nicht mal
Ja, auch nett.
And days he was unable to, he either spent in secluded silence or distracted days. Love is a curious thing. It has the power to change those who experience it. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue.
So wie ich beim Vorlesen letztes Mal, Freunde.
Again and again he talked to her, and again he stumbled.
Ihr fragt doch mal nach Namen, willst du mich verarschen eigentlich? Also, als ob sie immer das Thema ablenkt und du dann nicht mal sagen kannst, also wäre man jetzt nett, wenn du mir wenigstens mal deinen Namen sagen würdest, weil sonst würde ich nicht einfach sagen, hey mate, yo.
Ja, I guess er respektet sie nicht als Mensch.
Ja.
Einfach so, ja,
So eine Mate.
Imagine if you were to take him to see Romance at the theater in his present state, he would cry just as much as little Nelly. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels with our own lives. At least that is what I think.
Sehr interesting, finde ich, was er gesagt hat.
Ja.
Von der Maid. Also die Witch Maid.
Nennen wir sie einfach Narrator.
Narrator Maid.
Great tales of romance attain true gravity with the audience only when they are personally familiar with love. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed.
Bist du a bit disturbed, I guess?
Ja, ja, nicht ganz so. Ja,
She was delighted that he was being so kind to her. But confusion overpowered every other emotion. She appeared to be at a loss for what to do as she clumsily catapulted words and stared at her.
But Mel did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt from his breast.
Within
his breast, yes. Ich trippe auch über den Dialog hier. Okay. One's first love in particular tends to burn like wildfire. Are you familiar with the Sensation Master? Oh, hehe. Wie auch der Master sozusagen nie antwortet oder so.
Ja,
Weil wir sind
nur
gerade...
ganz am Anfang durften wir einmal auswählen, was wir antworten.
Ja.
Das war's. Was ist das, Digga?
Sieht aus wie...
So ein Schiff, finde ich.
Sieht aus wie...
Oder der Markt.
in Star Wars, so. Weißt du, wenn so...
Tatooine.
Ich glaube schon. Ah! There she is. Is she cleaning? No, it looks like she's reading.
Sie macht gerade ihren Move.
It's now, oh, it's now never, ja.
Obwohl es ein paar Tage her,
Wollte ich gerade sagen, so, das muss jetzt schon ein bisschen vergangen sein.
Er geht auf sie zu.
Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
Lord man! You very clearly meant to scare me.
Irgendwie schon.
Ja.
Because...
Bro, willst du mich verarschen? Du schlägst dich von hinten an.
Because you just wouldn't notice me. What are you reading? You look pretty engrossed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked for permission.
It's fine. No need to apologize. Feel free to read whatever you want. And you're welcome to bring books back to your room if you'd like to spend more time with them.
But I was just amazed that the mansion had a library. It must have been a lot of work to collect all these books. Das war alles vom Grandfather auch, sag ich dann wieder.
There are some pretty old books in here too.
Your grandfather's?
Some that he collected and some even older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but it's not from this country.
A diary, not from this country. Sie hat gesagt, sie ist nicht von diesem Country. Vielleicht irgendwie Connection. Mal schauen.
Or this century for that matter. Maybe a feudal lord? Haha. Here, he's complaining about the quality of the harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce oversold grapes?
Wie sie schaut, ne?
If only the target of the largest of the Barney, or maybe Barnier, die Leitenschrift oder wie? If only the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead.
Kann auch nicht lesen.
Yeah, read. The land that is much more suitable to cultivation. There you have it.
You can read this, Lord Mel. Oder ist es Latein? Deswegen.
More or less. I've looked over it several times already, so that wasn't too difficult.
Why would such an old book be here?
I'm not sure.
Ich sag, die Maid hat's reingebracht. Die Narrator Maid.
It oder es war... Ich hab den Namen vergessen. Die Bücher, die Eule.
Minerva?
Minerva.
Das war Minerva. Boah, das war so geil von Neverland. Oh.
I'm not sure. It and all of this was already here when I moved to the mansion. Into the mansion.
Have you not lived here your whole life?
Ja, sie stellt die Fragen und...
Bro, also, dummer Spaß! Du lässt dich ja ausdrücken, Informationen lässt sich raus. Aber sie, wenn du einmal fragst, so, wie ist der Name oder kaum, was weiß ich, so, Subject Change, und du lässt es einfach ergehen.
Obwohl, ich überlege gerade, vielleicht ist es einfach so üblich, ich kann mich da nicht aus, dass man den Mates nicht ihren Namen fragt oder dass sie einfach die Mates sind.
Obvious, safe call.
Weil wir wissen auch nicht den Namen von der Maid.
Ja, aber die ist schon jahrelang da.
Eben, aber weiß er den Namen von ihr? Oder wir haben nur, keiner hat gesagt, I was born at our estate. But to me and Nelly, this is more like our home.
Ja, aber sie haben 2 Häuser, haben sie gesagt.
Ja.
Das ist Secondary Home.
Ja, stimmt. Und da ist gerade der Vater.
Meistens.
We moved when I was still young. And we've lived here ever since. Nelly and mother have both grown quite fond of it.
Er nicht, weil er erwähnt sich nicht dabei.
Yes.
Im Flight.
Vater, also oder Vater. andere, die
Ja.
und Father though often goes back to the house because he doesn't like all the roses.
Und er? By himself?
Yeah, well, sometimes mother goes with him. But for the most part, he goes alone. Was wenn der Vater irgendwelche Sass-Aktivitäten macht?
Ja, sag ich mir auch so,
Wir
aber
vertrauen keinem. But don't get me wrong, it's not because they don't get along.
they just hate themselves. Ja.
In fact, they act more like teenagers in love than grown adults. It almost makes me sick having to watch it.
Das haben wir bisher noch nicht sehen müssen. It is a wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they may be.
True, but still.
There are those in the world who cannot be with the ones they care for as much as they may wish.
Okay, ich glaube, hier redet sie über sich selber.
Ja, safe.
Mhm.
Wegen ihrem Dad oder so, der wurde ja einmal erwähnt. Auch so ihr Face.
I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's right. The book. What were you reading? Schon wieder wurde abgelenkt.
Ja, I wasn't exactly reading. Achso, I can't. I do not enjoy reading lots of text, so I was looking at the pictures.
Gut, für Visual Novel hier.
Ja, sie kann nicht lesen. Ich weiß jetzt schon, worauf es hinausgeht. Er hat es mitbekommen und er wird zu ihr Lesen beibringen oder so.
Ah, kann sein. Is that so? You seem very cultured. So, I see you're a man of culture as well. So, I thought you would be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nelly and eschew your studies.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Das.
Ah, I wouldn't have guessed. But you like looking at pictures?
I do.
I do. What else do you like?
What? Also sie will.
What do you enjoy doing?
Sie sagt einmal ja und danach will sie nicht mehr weiterreden. Ja.
Can be anything.
I enjoy being told stories.
Same. Oder experiencing stories. Stories?
Yes. Oh, when I was young, my father would tell me tales.
What kind of stories do you like?
There was one about an imprisoned girl.
Tell it to me.
Oh. Once there was a girl, and she was locked away in mansion deep in forest.
Es hat zweimal das und in vergessen. Das war so. She was locked away in mansion deep in forest. Das hat und the vergessen.
Man, she was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. So fängt man die Story an, Bro. So. A mansion with only one window. Geiler Music, oder?
Das müssen wir im Kopf behalten. Sie kann nicht so an die Sonne.
Sie kann nicht so an die Sonne und ihr Vater hat vorgelesen. Oh, ja, genau sowas wollte ich. Boah, mit dem Ding, ne? Geil, okay. But the window sat high upon the wall, far beyond her reach. So it was always very dark inside, unlike this mansion. However, the girl did not like the outside world. Das ist doch vielleicht auch einfach eine Story über sich selbst. Weil sie auch nicht nach draußen kann. Und es soll auch dunkel sein am besten.
Possibly, ja.
Außer das war einfach Scam, was sie erzählt hat, dass man herausgehen kann, weil sie keinen Bock hatte. There were lots of scary things out there after all. Though she may have been all alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness in time, so she had nothing to be afraid of. And then, am I doing a good job?
Achso, beim Storytelling.
Ja, ich würde sagen schon.
You're doing fine, keep going. What happens next?
Ja, ich bin so wie mal interested. Okay. And then the girl grew up. Oops. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up. But she was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to the little bit of light that spilled through the one window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the sight of the light made her heart race. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant, because she disliked the light and the outside. But slowly she came to realize that she was curious about the outside world. Then, what could be happening out there? For all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. But she had no way of finding out. Nach draußen gehen. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window. What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she was finally ready to give up. But then a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for the girl. It also said that if she attached her reply to the dove, it would bring the letter back to him. She was astonished, but she wrote him back anyway, taking care not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt very close to one another, as though they had known each other for many years despite having never met. And eventually, the man
said he wanted to meet her.
Interrupted. Aber indeed, the girl was unsure what to do. Should she tell him of how she lived? Should she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, he would cease, glaube ich, to send her letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, and not a girl locked away in a house deep in the forest. The girl could not bring herself to write a response. Also sage gerade kurz, die mir so auffällt vielleicht, aber vielleicht stimmt auch nicht. Girl imprisoned deep in a forest in einem Haus, ist so wie sie selber vielleicht gerade. Und so die Letters writen ist so mit Mel die Conversations und dass sie überlegt, ob sie revealen sollte ihre Sachen, weil sie das nicht macht. Könnte sein.
Okay.
The girl could not bring herself to write a response. Also ja, mal schauen. She released the dove, though the window with nothing attached. Through the window with nothing attached to its leg. And yet, it returned with another letter, written in the man's familiar hand. You must surely have a grave reason for your silence, it said. I would like to know that reason, and I would like to help you. No matter what it may be, you have my word. She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know this man. He was from the outside. Would he still treat her the same way when he met her? And did she even want to step out into the world beyond? What do you think she did?
Wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right?
Yes, she did. The girl made up her mind she would write a letter. As always, when she tied it to the dove's leg, it flew off out the window. And for some time after that, she received no response from the man. This saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged in her own confined world, a world of darkness. But then, one day, light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man. "I have come for you," he said. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. Wie hat er die Location bekommen? What the fuck? Weil sie hat echt gesagt, she can... Oh ne, doch, sie hat revealed. Ich bin dumm, sorry. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. When the girl stepped outside, before her sat a magnificent carriage, the likes of which she had never before seen, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in the letters, swore his love to her. And the two lived happily ever after.
Ah, what a nice story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. Ja, mal schauen, ob Fata Morgana. A prince.
Was there something funny about the story?
No, that's not why I was laughing. Do you ever imagine what it would be like if a prince showed up for you?
Huh?
It doesn't have to be a real prince, even just someone like. It doesn't have to be. Is that something you dream about?
Yeah, that's something. Oh, no. I think I'm perhaps a little too old for that. Yo. Was für too old, Digga?
Ich denke, sie meint so wie Nelly, hat er so, mein Prinz oder so als kleines Mädchen ist.
Maybe, mal schauen.
You think so? Nelly still fantasizes about her prince and she's 14.
Ja, da hast recht.
Wir wissen gar nichts über die. Wir wissen nicht, wie alt sie ist, wissen den Namen nicht, woher sie kommt. I just assumed all girls were the same.
Lady Nelly's prince, that's you, Lord Mel. No?
What?
Is it not?
I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I very much doubt that she still thinks of me when that way in earnest. Ich denke schon, sie denkt ihn als Prinzen.
Ja.
When she calls me a prince now, it's mostly just, I don't know. Maybe. If it weren't, that would be concerning.
Oh?
That story, do you know if it's a regional tale? One that's been passed through the ages?
I am not sure. It could very well be one... it could very well be of my father's own creation. What? That the story is created or maybe? Oder... you might think me conceited, but I think the story might be about me.
The girl trapped in the mansion is you? You haven't been locked up anywhere else before, have you?
No. Thankfully, I've never been locked up before.
Thank goodness.
But with an appearance like mine, I can sympathize with her being afraid of the outside world.
Ja.
Also kann ich sein, dass die Vater die Geschichte gemacht hat, I guess, ne?
Sorry, was?
Kann ich sein, dass der Vater die Geschichte gemacht hat? I have at times imagined how wonderful life would be if it were only me and my father.
But the girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote that story, then I believe it contains this hope for you to end up the same way.
Oh?
I don't have what it takes to be a real prince and to whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. So, if it was your father's wish for you to see the outside world, then surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all that scenery, all the scenery in the world is awful. That scenery. Cute. I want to see the outside too. Or to be more specific, other countries. So, if you'd like, we
Da kommt jemand angerannt.
could maybe go see distant lands together.
Da ist Nelly, oder? Ja, klar. Ah. Dear Smell, I've been looking all over for you.
Nelly.
Look at this, dear Smell. Mother bought me these wonderful gloves to wear on walks. Und sie ist einfach so vorgestellt, die andere. The roses embroidered on the wrists are just precious.
Precious. My precious.
Oh my! You're right, they are beautiful. You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mayor. Are you feeling unwell?
No, no, I'm fine.
You appear to be dizzy, man. Wer hat das als Voice-Actor uns eingeteilt? So Freunde, das ist das Video. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Lasst gerne ein Abo da. Ja, ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Checkt eine paar Videos, Plays, Streams aus und aktiviert auch gerne die Glocke und schreibt gerne, ob das Video gefallen und dabei wieder schauen und
Reingehauen.
bye.